Alright, so afterplants. My thought or theory around afterplants is that it's relatively easy to either play like bad or correct. Like you can play bad by just not abiding what correct CS is or good game sense. And correct is just the opposite of that, like you play off each other's contact or use your nades in a timely fashion. I'm gonna go through what makes an afterplant good, and for me that is just something that exceeds what you can easily read into as correct. So I'm not going to show you examples of just bad or correct examples of afterplant, since I think that's relatively easy to visualize and it's also extremely common. So like I said, for me it's just that you either play bad in an afterplant or you don't. You may also have noticed that I don't really cover analyze a lot of tier 1 teams, and that's both mainly because they're like so mainstreamly and widely covered and analyzed by others, but also because I don't really like to watch that many tier 1 demos because I can't implement their way of treating the map into my style or for my team. But when it comes to Afterplant, that's where like the real team cohesion or the real skill of being able to work together with your game sense actually comes in. So I'm actually only going to focus on tier 1 teams here. So I'm going to start with a very easy and basic example here. We're going to look at MIBR getting into this Afterplant on B, so they get the site in a 4v3. And Phelps gets all the way up con, he takes no contact, so he has all the info here, and he's also gonna literally hear like 3 CTs running up banana there. So he knows that this is gonna be a one-dimensional take with absolutely 0 flankers. So we're gonna look at what that means, and that means that nobody's gonna fucking peek. So Taco and Colsera are going to positions to trade, and Ferd just hides graffiti. Gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of Taco going short here when he has Phelps con, and he's only has 30 HP, so he can get one bulleted here. But he's still in a position to trade, and that's what's important. So Fur actually manages to Phelps, sorry, he's gonna get all the way out A side, and they're gonna hear retake utility eventually, so they actually know the retake is on. So I think Cole jiggling heaven here is a bit stupid. He could get opt or like just insta headshot by an AUG, but since he doesn't get killed, no harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. So Fur is gonna hear them close. He doesn't have a reason to peek. They're not up yet, and his teammates aren't peeking for him. So the right call is to bait, and he just chooses the right timing. So Cole flashes for him. He kills the one, cleans up the second, and Cole keeps the op in heaven. So this basically isn't more than just perfect discipline, and we can always remember that they do have the backup plan with 2 guys inside trading, as well as a really good lurk on Phelps. But Fur positioned and played off it perfectly, and just the way they threw it managed them to keep their economy up and close it out with 4 alive and 4 rifles. So like the vital thing here is that they were pretty much always going to be in a position to close out the round, but they just buffered their economy up so much by getting 4 free rifles, or I think 3 free rifles, and having everybody stay alive. And that is just what this accomplished, just that economy buffer, because they were always going to win that round from the position they found themselves in. Alright, we're gonna hop into this pistol Afterplant from Cloud9 on train here. Maybe not really considered a tier 1 team right now. The roster is in a bit of a turmoil. This was around a month ago, so I guess you probably would consider them a top 20 or top 10 team then at least. Anyways, they're gonna go for their B exec, and they are going to end up in a 2 versus 3. So they have Cajun at side bomb here and Golden playing upper. Now Golden doesn't have any utility to actually support, like a molly for a plant or any excess flashes. So he's gonna support just using himself. It's also important that C9 has the info that all of these 3 guys were back CD/con. Everybody was actually spotted, so they know that a flank is completely impossible. So Golden is pretty much just gonna use himself to lock down this whole right part of the bomb site. He knows that nobody's gonna go cloud and like it at a deep oil peak here or like on the trains here. That's like very unlikely. And Cajun is just gonna use that info to stay safe and jiggle yellow here to see what he has to fight or what he can fight. So Cajun is eventually gonna hear 3 guys holding W to his left. And you know, these guys are smart. They probably instantly realize E United are gonna play the man advantage and stick together. so that they think that they have the maximum tradability. So he's gonna run from here, Golden's gonna peek off distraction, kill one, Cajun's gonna do good damage, going into a position where he can't be killed. Golden again peeks off his mate, uses his position to get one, and just uses the momentum to one-tap food. So you definitely can't analyze this too deep, but awesome realization and call by Cajun. And Golden's inner game sense just like kicking in and telling him what to do. His mate gets the info, he kills one using his mate gets away, and then he uses his very good position for the first kill, and just his aim to close out the round. Obviously, like in this scenario, it's a bit lucky that they decide to just run down side bomb. Cajun might have been a lot more fucked if they split, but now that is what happened, and they played perfect around that. So I by far think that this little video with like just a few examples can't do justice to how a perfect afterplant maybe played out. But I think this example I'm gonna show is pretty much as close as you can get. Like this is a real illustration of what I would consider perfection. So Answer gonna go for this B hit here, and still is kinda gonna fuck up as a B anchor here. He's gonna flunk his nade. Not really an effective flash, and he's just gonna get this one kill, and he's gonna get instantly trade. So they're pretty much gonna set up for this plant setup they have instantly, but they're gonna choose to commit to the setup completely as soon as Alexi B is gonna take contact on shorter, and he's gonna dink this guy. So he dinks them, and then they're gonna go like commit fully into this setup. So Alexi right now, with having that guy gushed, is gonna feel confident to just sit in this deep angle. He's getting the info apps, and he knows that he should probably be able to get away with at least getting another guy gushed before he gets pre-fired one tap, or if he would lose that aim duel. Meanwhile, you have X7 Africa here, and you have Ariel and Alu on Forest, and their job is literally preventing anybody from getting close to X7 or Alexi B and killing them easily. Like these two guys are dissecting the whole retake by not letting it be a joint retake. They don't let it actually be a retake, but instead like four random guys who have to run into a site hoping to win without teamwork. So X7 playing Africa here obviously runs the biggest risk, since he could just get swung kitchen, especially since this is such a common spot to check. But his teammates fighting here, if we can see, so the teammates fighting and showing themselves here, both takes away attention, as well as a good player like X7 should be able to at least go 1-for-1 here if they would let them pass. But the backup plan, or like the failsafe of the forest guy, is gonna come into effect here. They're gonna let one pass short, and Alexi B is gonna kill him. And then he's instantly gonna get traded from apps. And here comes the call right away as Alexi calls that. The apps guy comes out, they're just gonna say, alright, just fucking swing kitchen, we got the surprise, we got the man advantage. Then they just swing together. So they're gonna kill both the guys kitchen, and X7 cleans the guy apps up from an off angle. And that's literally it. They just set up for it, they execute, they peek together, they manage to headshot. Like, this might seem simple yet again, but this is nailed down on a deep level, in my opinion. Like, you have everything that can be set nailed down. You are taking a calculated risk, but the risk is very low, and that risk is really just being able to trust your teammate to aim for heads, and they can do that at this level. Like, Alexi don't just die like a bot there, or like X7 actually has to be able to kill people from Africa there. And the forest guys needs to be able to swing, you know, they need to be able to plan their crosshair, whatever, yada yada yada. You get the point. So they know what risk, what risk they should expect. They know what like this whole setup contains. But this is just a great setup by Answer and Alexi here. I doubt this is something done on the fly, and this has to be prepared in advance. But just knowing what they're facing and knowing how to set up in the perfect way to both use their game sense and their aim just goes to show you why they are actually being considered as a top 3 team.